All right, everyone, here we are once again for another episode of BMX React, where this time we're going to be taking a look at Eddie Fiola's section from the GT demo tape that came out in 1987 or 88. 88 according to this title, and 87 according to something we're about to see in a minute. But just this past week, I uploaded a video bike check with Eddie Fiola himself, where we talk about his current bike and all the parts on it and information about it. And then after that, the Dave Volker podcast went up on the Our BMX YouTube channel, where in some capacity the GT demo tape was mentioned, and the fact that Eddie Fiola had a section in it was mentioned as well. So I pulled this up and saw, I've never seen this video before. This is a perfect BMX React video. So we're taking it back, almost 35 years ago at this point, 36 years ago to react to this. But before we actually take a look at the video, I wanted to learn a little bit more about the video itself. It came out this long ago, before I was even born. I kind of want to learn more. So I did some digging and I found an actual listing for a GT demo tape, which says it came out in 1987, and a date in one of these pictures shows that. But either way, this is what the demo tape looked like. Here was the covers, classified GT demo tape, real big on the front, in-depth, something or another, personal interviews, and something or another. I can't read it. Then we've got the side cover on this one, GT demo tape, GT Dyno Freestyle, because this was indeed a VHS tape. And for those of you who have no idea what a VHS tape is, well, to play it, you had to have a VCR, which was a VHS tape player. So you'd put this tape into it, and then you'd push play, and then you hear, and it would eat your tape, and then you'd proceed to cry because it was probably irreplaceable, being a BMX video, or you were just super bummed because you didn't get to watch what you were super excited to watch. But all kidding aside, this is the backside of the tape in its cover, and we get a little bit closer of a look at what it actually says. GT demo tape. Team GT is back. What you are holding in your hands is a complete record of once restricted information held in strict confidence by the top pros of freestyle. Now the world famous GT freestyle team has disclosed the step-by-step instructions to some of the most amazing freestyle ground and air tricks ever. Eddie and Josh demonstrate how to master vertical terrain, while Martin and Brian show you how to pull off flatland moves with finesse. Check it out. No security clearance needed. Production, GT Bicycles Incorporated. Direction, Sean Buckley, Holden Hume. Video, Unreal Productions, Inc. Next, rider list. Martin Apparejo, Dino DeLuca, Eddie Fiola, Brett Hernandez, Brian Skura, Dave Volker, and Josh White. And it says here, GT Bicycles Incorporated, an address. I wonder if they're still there. Huntington Beach, California, a phone number. Somebody call that and let me know what that goes to. And then copyright 1987 GT Bicycles, Inc. And then there's a picture of the tape itself. This is what a VHS tape looks like, for any of you who have no idea, or maybe so old that you forgot. But with that being said, I also found this. This is an upload on Old School BMX TV of the actual GT demo tape, which also says 1988, which is interesting. And there's a lot more on the description here that we can learn about this. So it says GT demo tape released in April 1988. Interesting. So it must have been made in 87, released in 88. And the follow-up to GTV. Magoo is your host. His big screen debut. Producers Unreal added some really hot, inexpensive special effects, comical at times, but not rolling on the floor type. First interview, Martin. Usual talk about travel and practice, killer effects. Martin shreds, hot tricks. Dyno next. Quote of video. I like to motorcycle. Nervousness? Yup. Dyno makes up for it with the best slow-mo look back in history, while a guitar geezes in the background. More custom effects. Then the swatch wearing and totally tense Dr. Air highlights Josh off cue, Josh doing ground with no pegs, Josh Lofton. Dave Volker follows. He's the most easygoing, coolest, and calmest character in the entire vid, the most normal or regular guy until it shows his abnormal airs and irregular variations. Rad. Brett Hernandez, next. Talking with stuffed up nose, more chick references by Goo, awesome footage of Pinky Squeaks. Skura comes on and GT forgot to add canned laughter. Skura out of control doing the backstroke while scurfing. Someone's going to need to translate some of this for me. Then Fiola. This is the last time you'll get to see him in GT Duds. Old pipeline / king of skate parks footage. Classic? You bet. That's all, except for one of the all-time best crashes in years. We won't say anymore. Just see the demo tape for yourself. That is pretty cool. And I will have the full demo tape linked, as well as Eddie Fiola's section, which is uploaded to the Snakebite BMX YouTube channel. Just says Eddie's part from the GT demo tape video. And without any further delay, it's already been 6 minutes, so I'm sorry it took this long, but this is history, and I wanted to bring a little bit of it together that was a bit fragmented in different places to give you guys some backstory on some of this stuff in case you might care about it. So let's get right on in to Eddie Fiola in GT's demo tape. 1988. Got some music. He's carving super high in the full pipe. Camera cut him out for a second. Pumping. Jeez, that was like a 6 or 7 foot air out can. Dang, that was rad. Foot plant on the fence out like a sub. I mean, that's impressive even today out of that huge quarter. Nice 270 fly out there, kind of like an alley-oop fly out. Tried to do like a 270 tap maybe. It's interesting to see the development, how videos progress over the years. Big 1-footer. You can see his bike and his clothes. I mean, this is literally him riding probably a GT Performer. There's the look back, which there's a fun fact about. We'll get to that when we scrub back through it. We can see his clothes, his get up with GT on there. Nice little downside 1 foot air. Wearing the helmet. I think he did another foot plant. This has been like all one run so far. He just did a big like spin to land and hauling in. The bikes of this time period were just, the geometry of today is so much more refined for BMX than what we see on these bikes. And it just makes it all the more impressive that people did what they did on these bikes. I mean, he just did a 540. But that huge can air at the beginning, just blasting out of that ramp. And I suppose, you get used to anything, but compared to today, where these bikes are fully made for this and made in what we found is like, dang, big no footer. What we found is like the best way to do it. It's good. Well, that was that. And it just ended. So maybe we should do another Eddie Fiola react video. If somebody in the comments wants to leave another or several more Eddie Fiola videos, if they're out there, I would love to do another episode with this that just might have a little bit more to it. So let's scrub back through here. Look at this massive can air. I mean, that is huge. We can only assume that that's a 5 or a 6 foot fence. I would assume it's 5 because people are standing behind it and standing over it. He's like 6 or 7 feet in the air on that can. That alone could have broke that bike. That alone could have bent those cranks. This foot plant, you had to be smooth or these bikes might not have held up to it. You can see he's not riding mags on here. But needless to say, when you hear people talk about these bikes, they talk about how often they broke and how you thought about if it was gonna break on you. So let's find this look back right there. This look back, I just learned in the Dave Volker podcast that look backs were actually supposed to be your normal air out, but turning the opposite way as a turn down. So a look back today, most people, when they do them, will do a opposite air out and then just do a normal turn down like motion. But because you're airing opposite, it puts you into a look back. Whereas what Rooftop explained is that back then people would just do a turn down, airing normal, opposite direction into the front foot, which makes them a totally different trick. And he says it's a different trick in that podcast. And he's technically, I would say he's right about that. Lots of really high carving in here. I didn't see the crash that was mentioned in the description on that other one. So maybe we need to do a react to the entire GT demo tape next. How's that sound? It'll be long, but it could be cool. So we got Eddie flying around here, styling. And I feel like a lot of this seems like it's one run. Is this a contest? Big 540. Sick. Hutch banners, GT BMX banners, Haro banners, ACS banners. Was there anyone who's watching this that was there on this day? Let me know in the comments down below. And that no footer, little nose pivot out is how this one ends. I think it's awesome to watch this. Having met Eddie and seeing how awesome of a person he is, how solid of a person he is, how he had time for everyone. And no matter what they wanted to talk about or anything like that, he was just cool. He's smooth. And then he rode and it was rad. And I think tomorrow I'm actually going to upload just the riding stuff from the Buckeye Bike Show with Eddie Fiola. So stay tuned on my channel tomorrow for Eddie Fiola riding for 5 or 6 minutes and all of the stuff that he did, which was just him putting on a show, and he did an awesome job at that. And I'm done saying the word awesome now. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of BMX React. Let me know if I should react to the whole GT demo tape next. Thank you for watching, and hopefully you'll be subscribed down below so we can see you tomorrow for Eddie Fiola riding from just a couple weeks ago. Thanks again. We'll see you there.